Welcome my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated, continuing on with my historically accurate Munster playthrough. In the last episode, Murchad stormed into Leinster and seized control of the province, and is now pushing to take control of Meath and the lands of the Dal Northee, which will give him a claim to the High Kingship. We've seen some upheaval in Scotland. There is a small baba on the throne, and as I was just checking around, I won't say we have upheaval. Well, we do. We have a bit of upheaval in England. The House of Wessex has been restored to the throne, but they are fighting against one of Harold Godwinson's children, who is trying to place somebody else on the throne of England. Oh, those English. Oh, those English. So we're going to just wait for a couple of minutes and see. I won't say we're going to wait, but we're going to let things continue on. And see, will this old divil, will he make way for the next generation? Somebody in the comments, Brooke in the comments, pointed out that his wife is pregnant. So there you go. Fair play to him. Mighty man for one man. We have been increasing the development in our provinces, and we are known to be a drunkard, and it looks like we're attracting a certain type of individual to the court, the renowned inventor, Le Lober. Guys, it's Le Lober, everyone knows Le Lober, has sought me out with a very odd petition, carrying a pair of wings made from wood and silk. Long have humans lusted to soar through the heavens, he says, and I have made calculations. I will prove that we can. Allow me to jump from the tallest tower of your castle. Absolutely, you had me at jump. Unfortunately, my daughter, Dervla, has learned of this and is begging me to let her see the aged scholar take flight. So we can say, no, this is madness. Absolutely not. A learning challenge, 25% chance that we gain Saw the World from Above for 30 years. +2 learning and some stress debuff. 50% chance that we get the nickname The Flying Irishman. Or more than likely we're going to fail and become wounded. There is no telling how Dervla might react to seeing this. We'll definitely get 30 opinion, and we have a 60% chance to get some prestige. Dervla could become brave, melancholic, or sadistic. Let's see what happens. Right. Well. So we've discovered gravity. We return back to Scotland. And back to Mayor Gillicreast, who we learned some absolutely disturbing things about in the last episode, and we managed to get some money out of him for those secrets, to guard those secrets. We could get some more money out of him, but he doesn't exactly have a lot. So what we're going to do instead is organise a marriage between our son, Arthur, and his, I believe it's his sister, it is indeed, who is currently his player heir. Now, of course, they will not accept because it's not a matrilineal marriage. We could offer a matrilineal marriage. They won't even accept that. We've too many existing alliances. So we can, of course, use that hook. We know things about you. We know things about you. So we're going to use that hook to send that proposal. And that will give us... At least it's going to put an O'Brien in this region at some stage. Possibly, we'll see. But we could use it to cause trouble in the general region. Our spymaster has finished searching for secrets in the court of Queen Flora of Scotland. He has found nothing. But he tells us that he could arrange so that her father Donald suddenly did have secrets. Now, if we take a look at Donald, he doesn't exactly have a lot of money. However, he does have a lot of claims. He does have a lot of claims. Okay, maybe not a lot of claims. He has claims to the Isles. And what we could see about doing is bringing him to our court and pushing those claims. Now, of course, the immediate problem is that we could basically use him to rip Scotland apart. The immediate problem is that anything he takes would just go back to Scotland again eventually, on his death. But if we could move fast enough and get claims to a couple of regions, it's going to cost 50 quid. We're going to gain a strong hook. Let's get him to our court and see what we can do with him. And of course, the great thing is we've managed to sway Cahors. The great thing is that because he is Flora's player heir, we can't invite him to court at the moment. But we do have a hook on him, and if matters change, then matters will change. We're seeing Kildare and Dublin fighting each other. Kildare is actually getting the upper hand. Not too sure what the hell is going on here. So I think these are the Gilaforic. It's another branch of the Murchad in Kildare, and they are fighting against another branch in Dublin. Oh, those Murchads. I am passing through the castle gardens for a morning walk when a soft breeze carries the voices of Iwa and Donal to my ear. The two courtiers are talking to each other in secluded spots nearby, or in a secluded spot, frequently glancing around to make sure that nobody is listening. While it is hard for me to make out most of their words from a distance, it is clear that their discussions relate to Earl Olaf. So it's an 88% chance, or we could torture them. I think for now we'll try and get closer. They seem to be discussing his private life and some unsavory habit of his. How interesting. We learn that he's a witch. How much money does he have? Oh boys, oh boys. We've never really gotten on well with Olaf. His father wasn't the worst. We've never gotten on well with this lad though. Full acceptance. Does not want this getting out. He will give in to being blackmailed. And with that, we should be able to demand a payment. That's going to get us back all that money that we just lost. Getting a claim on Flora's father. Now, England might be in a state of civil war, but it doesn't mean that the king doesn't have a lot of money. So we are going to deploy our spymaster. He's still wandering around Scotland and he's not finding anything new. We'll deploy him in that region. Edgar is actually losing this war at the moment. I'm trying to figure out now who this is. This is a sister of the guy who's leading the war. So a daughter of Harold Godwinson. So let's see if we can actually bribe the king for some money before he's deposed, or if we can get some good secrets on some people in this part of the world. And we're up to a brand new lifestyle perk again. It's going to be quite simple. We now get an additional hostile scheme. We're not actually trying a lot of hostile schemes at the moment, but we might be in a position to start abducting some people once we get this schemer trait. Already our spymaster is turning up secrets in the English court. If there's anywhere you're going to find devious secrets, it's going to be in the English court. And he has discovered that Magnus of East Anglia had Prince Godwin murdered. Now, who exactly is this? He is a brother of one of the combatants in the current civil war, so this is a man who most certainly would not want to... His own brother! He had his own brother killed! The devil! The treacherous devil! Well, he definitely will not want that getting out, I imagine. He's not as sure as some of the people that we've met, but I'd say we'll be getting English money out of this lad. There you go. We have gained a hook on him. We'll demand a payment. He'd better pay up. And there you go. You devil. I'm unsure what exactly is going on over here. Bedlam, anarchy. But outside of that, I'm not too sure. Here is our ally, Waldev. And he is attacking Queen Flora in the Gaelic Insular Uprising, which is being led by Adam of the Populist Uprising. Oh boys. Things aren't looking good. What'll actually happen here? So Flora loses a level of fame. There is a truce. And Adam gets a number of earldoms in the north and becomes independent. Waldev of Lothian becomes independent. Mayor Ingrid becomes independent. And Mayor Ragnveld becomes independent. Oh dear lord. Well, that's Scotland for you. I think House Wessex is just going to finance the Kingdom of Ireland from now on. Here is Edmund, who is leading the rebellion in England. And we've discovered that he has taken a lover. So there's his brother Magnus that we blackmailed for killing their other brother. Died under suspicious circumstances. This is very useful to know. How do I blackmail people again? Oh. Well, damn it. After all the work and all the money he's brought in for the kingdom. Giliforic, the things he's learned, they broke his mind. The poor man has passed away at 55 years of age. Cahur, from what I can tell, is still hanging around. Or, not Cahur, but whoever's in Meath. So we will blackmail this guy, first of all, to begin with. Here is, I believe, here's our son and ward, Arthur. So Moraid was attempting to preach amongst her fellow youngsters and became a target. So what could we do? So Arthur could keep the trait Zealous, which we also have. Martial +2, Piety +20%. We could give him Bravery, or we could give him Calm. Diplomacy and Intrigue. And that's what we're training him for, is Intrigue. That's why he is with us. I think we are going to give him... I think we're going to give him Calm. So how much are we going to gain? 45. Yara will get some drink into us there in a minute if we need it. So we have gained a blackmail hook on Prince Edmund. Giliforic's last action before his death. I'd say we'll probably blackmail him. Oh lord, this is just a circle. So Edmund's married to his niece. So here's Edmund. If he doesn't have an heir, his brother Magnus is going to inherit. And if he doesn't have an heir, then his son Godwin is going to inherit. You named him after the brother, did you? Yeah. Fair play. Giliforic was some man for one man. And unfortunately, we have nobody who is in a position to replace him. The best actual intrigue figure would be Murchad in Leinster. He absolutely hates us. And then we have a diplomat who has the next best intrigue skills, or who has the best intrigue skills, Dunica, in Desvuin, who has become quite powerful. So we have to give it to one of the two of these. We'll give it to Dunica. He's not exactly the most optimal character. He is now taking Giliforic's place in England. It is Cahor. Everyone is Cahor. Because he's also Cahor. I was getting confused. And here then is Ossory. So Donica Maculaphoric has taken over from his father. And his brother is next in line. We are contacted by Murica, who we just overlooked for the position of Spymaster. He is inviting us to his court at Lochgorman. It will be a grand affair. We have some stress to lose. We lose 12 because we're a drunkard. Let's see if this is a good idea. Every guest is gathered in the Great Hall, and our gracious host, Earl Murica, welcomes us all to the feast. This had better be worth my time. I'd better make it out of here alive. Eoin, our son, has come of age. With sufficient tutelage, even a child that has displayed little natural inclination towards administration, such as Eoin, can come to truly understand it. So we had him on the stewardship focus by the looks of it. He's a 16. He's got up to a 20. Not too shabby at all. This could be a great steward of the kingdom. I'm not too sure if we can kind of put him in anywhere at the moment. Because, of course, we have powerful vassals to keep happy. And powerful vassals to keep unhappy. So he's just blathering on. He's talking and talking and talking. We could gain interesting conversation. And we could try to build a friendship with him. We could increase our standing. Let's do this. So we will gain 20 opinion with him. We'll try and basically just make him hate us less. That lady over there is refilling a tightly grasped glass for the third time since joined by their spouse, a relationship on the brink of collapse. That lord on the other side of the hall is keeping to the walls, avoiding all conversation as well as eye contact. A secret to keep safe? Everyone is hiding something. I'm hiding the fact that I'm plastered, and with a practiced eye, even the smallest of details will show you the whole picture. Nothing can be allowed to elude me. Very drunk. Hostile scheme resistance plus 10 for 3 years. Not too shabby. What a feast! I will remember nothing tomorrow morning. Now it is time to wash off the traces of merriment and wine, and once more resume my duties. As a lord of the realm, this has been a fantastic visit to Leinster. This has been of tremendous benefit to Murchad, and it has greatly helped to shore up our feelings with the Murchas. We're going to lose even more stress, and we will gain 15 opinion with Murica, so another 15 opinion. We've increased our standing with him by about 35. Yeah, uh-oh, somebody's not happy. It's become clear that your bishop is working to establish a false and spurious claim on the Balnaradi. Do not think that this kind of dishonorable action will go without response. You can't respond. So we're going to lose some prestige. But there is the basis of a claim there. So the Dalnaradi are not happy with us. Here is their neighbour, Countess Scahach, in Tyrone. Her primary heir, I'm not too sure what the relationship is, but he's dying. So what we're going to see if we can do is... Where the hell even is the option? Let's see if we can fabricate... Let's see if we can fabricate a hook. And I believe because we actually have 2... See, the most sensible thing to have done would be to try and fabricate a hook here. You can tell what I'm trying to do, which is basically get some marriages in this region. I think we'll just leave the one hook going for the moment, and Then we have Tyrconnell, which, if we can just take Dalnaradi and get a hook in that region and start pushing across, and just watch what anarchy is going to happen up here. Our secondary wife, Anya, has given us another child, a perfect little son, Faircore. May God grant you long life, my son. I was just about to say, I'm not seeing any progress on the fabricate a hook, but we are seeing it kick in now. It's going to take a while, though. It's taking in the region of about 2 years. We haven't been getting on well with this man, but he's after bringing us a big sheet of paper. The latest work of my vassal, Earl Olaf, so he is a poet, has become all the rage at court of late. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind, and he has publicly dedicated it to me. Leaving behind that memory that he's a witch. What man does not hope to rest when tired, no matter his wealth and treasure acquired, and hope only for memory's grace, so that the whole world remembers their face. Again, it sounds better in Irish. It sounds better in the original Irish. So far, I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. That man is so plastered, I'd say he'd enjoy anything. We'll gain 50 piety, or it's a diplomacy challenge. I'd say we'll take our 50 piety, and because he's a strong vassal and he's not the happiest, we'll tell him it's mighty. Fair play to you. Anava ar fad. Right then, a number of developments. Rory u Welshach Nail, or Welshach Loin. I wonder, is this the same Welshach Loins, Is it just reusing the name, or is it the actual... It looks like it's just reusing the name. We're told that he might be a good commander in court. Those cattle lands have been constructed at Limnock, so we are in a position to go on another building endeavour, and we are told that Earl Olaf owes us money. Our Chancellor has discovered this, or that we could increase his obligations. I'm going to let it slide, and we're going to get a weak hook on him. We're going to get a weak hook. So we'll let it slide this time. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at Tuavuan and what we might be able to do there. We have a number of different options. It'd be surprising if we didn't. I was thinking about going with walls and towers for the tax income increase and a bit of an extra garrison. If the Vikings make for us, we're in a bit of trouble. What I might do instead, however, is go for the military camps. It'll give us some extra levies, but it's also going to give us increased archer damage. And we do tend to use a lot of archers in Ireland. It's giving us skirmisher damage and pursuit as well, so I think we'll go for that. That's going to be 21 months. And then probably we could actually try and push up the harbour afterwards to get increased development growth. So we have a couple of different options that we can go for then, or the other one would be, again, just extra taxes, and building construction time and cost would go down if we were to go for the wetlands. I think we might go for the wetlands next. The Godwins, who control Wessex, have defeated House Wessex that doesn't control Wessex, if I'm correct. I'm getting mixed up between all these houses now. So the Godwins have deposed the House of Wessex from the English throne. They've managed to place their sister there. And her primary heir at the moment, is it one of the brothers? It is indeed, it's Edmund. So her primary heir is Edmund, who fought to install his sister on the English throne. Oh, those Godwins, they're always causing trouble. Right, well, I didn't know anything about this. There is no longer the slightest doubt in my mind. My Tinder match, Zimina, has given birth to a son, and we both know that I'm his father. Thankfully, Zimina has kept quiet about me. She's kept very quiet. And no one else knows the truth, at least for now. I must be very careful about this. Or we can expose the disputed heritage secret. So here is our son, Idris. Got a bit of martial traits already. This is going to come back to bite me at some later stage, isn't it? While wandering around in England, our spy master has discovered a secret about Gulliam, or Gulim. I'm not too sure what's happened here. I wonder, was he the ruler? At one stage, he was forced to abdicate in 1084. He's in the English court at the moment. And we have discovered a murder secret. We have discovered that he had this man killed just a couple of years ago. His traits aren't great. His traits aren't great, but his prowess is quite high. And we know that we're going to have a war against the Dal Nardi coming up at some stage. So let's see. Let's see if we can blackmail this man. And instead of doing our usual of demanding money, because he ain't got none, let's see if we're in a position to invite him to our court. And there we go. Welcome to Ireland. We're making an extra bit of money per month at the moment. I still don't have anyone great to appoint as court tutor. Here is our half-brother Toirdelbach, who is... well, it's Cahor. I was wondering who the hell was Toirdelbach, and how was he our court physician? So it's Cahor, but he's the court physician, so he's grand out. We don't really have anybody for the court tutor position at the moment. We do have a couple of wars going on within the kingdom. So to help with the control growth, we're going to put our son Edoin in as seneschal. I just checked my messages and I was very confused when it told me that Cahor of Meath was prepared to accept vassalization. I thought, that doesn't sound like Cahor. And when I came across and saw that it was the young Cahor who was in power because his grandfather has, at 80 years of age, retired to an abbey. He has taken the title of Cahor the Abbot. I thought we would have to wait for this man's death before we would be in a position to extend into Meath, and possibly he has realised that he can no longer play an independent game. He is wedged between Connacht and Meath, and most likely, or he's wedged between Connacht and Munster, and most likely Connacht would seek to take Meath's land by conquest. The idea of a strong or independent Meath, those days are gone, and by stepping aside to facilitate his grandson Cahor's ascent, Cahor is now 29, just a year younger than his father was when he died of his wounds. And Cahor, because we have been building a good relationship with him over the years, he would accept low feudal obligations. For me at the moment, it's more important to get him into our grasp and to actually get him into the realm, so we will offer him those low feudal obligations. Greetings, my impressive liege. I am quite impressive. I accept your gracious offer of vassalization. And so, we take one more step towards the High Kingship, and we see Scotland going mad. Now, before we deal with that, our bishop returns to us and tells us that he has gained a claim on the lands of the Dal Nardi. It's quite expensive, a lot more expensive than anything that we have done so far. We will see that that is done. Oh, you lunatics, you absolute crazed, deranged lunatics. Where the hell do we start? We have Ball, Clua. So I'm wondering if this is the same word as basically assembly. DA for the IL would be the term for the modern Irish Parliament. Here's King Adam. So his rebellion succeeded with the help of Lothian, which has become independent, as well as Mon, the great kingdom of Mon. And there's Norway. He's an impressive military figure, to say the very least. And still hanging on in Scotland is Flora. At this stage now, if she was either to be deposed, or if we were able to get Donald to our court one way or another and enforce those claims on the Isles, it would be absolutely tremendous. It would be absolutely tremendous. We could start pushing in that direction. This is both beneficial and not really all that beneficial. I'm not too sure what kind of a scenario has been created here. He's insular. Adam is insular, and he's quite powerful. So yeah, there you go. Scotland has basically been absolutely shredded. Look at that. For a fish to money. Burning a hole in the pockets of Pope Antarius II. He's not inclined to give us any. So what we're going to do a number of things. We're going to end our sway scheme against Cruhur now that he has joined us. So we'll see if we can start swaying the Pope. It's not looking great. And now that our bishop is back to us, can we increase? He's on religious relations. So that's increasing piety. I thought there was a way that we could actually increase our opinion with the papacy. Does not look like it. We could put him trying to convert the faith in Dublin. Or not in Dublin, in Leinster. I think we'll just leave him alone for a while. We'll get a bit of a piety increase. But we're going to need a big heap of money if we are to form the Kingdom of Ireland. Now, before we can form the High Kingship, of course, as well as needing a bit of money, we also need a bit of land. The final piece will be the lands of the Dalmaradi. And we can see that there is now an alliance achieved with Tyrconnell. Tyrconnell actually has allied itself, if I am correct, with... it's also allied itself with Murcarthach of the Ifiacroch, so not with actual Connacht itself. Possibly a bit late. He has started to realise that the regions up here should try to defend themselves from the major powers pushing upwards, but we are going to declare war. So we have very large allies, but I don't think we're going to be in a position to call all of those in. We're going to push for our claims. And it's a pity we couldn't have actually organised some form of a marriage first of all, so that we could restore her. We will raise all our forces in Ossory. And we'll see, possibly, if we could actually call in Gilabreed in this region. We're down here, call to war. He doesn't seem to be fighting anyone at the moment, so I don't want to call in everyone because it's going to be a quite hefty expense. Do you know what? Look, they're going to be vassals of ours soon enough, so we might as well just call in. It's the same amount of prestige, but a lot more forces. We have begun our march north. We have put the armies under the command of Brian, Murchad's son. The False King Murchad. So here's his son Brian. And he is our best siege individual. What we're going to do is we're going to switch out So Donica is commanding another army now. The next highest person, so here's a different Donica. We're going to put, who will we put in charge? You know what, we'll risk it, If we can, we should hit them first of all, and then you're going to have Tyrconnell's army coming in afterwards, and then we should have Connacht's army coming in not too soon after that, or not too long after that, so hopefully we're going to have a bit of an advantage. The numbers are quite hefty. We see Connacht about to come in to the Battle of Carrickfergus. We could very well have actually held out. Earl Cahur of Meath has been killed in his first major engagement. Our dear friend who accepted vassalization, and this is the reward that he gets. So Cahur of Meath has been slain at during the Battle of Dalnaradi, and Meath now has gone to his 8-year-old daughter, and her great-grandfather is still alive, I imagine. He is indeed. Cahur questioning possibly his decision to retire to an abbey, and because it's after effectively bringing about the downfall of his family. A bloom in the wilderness for the third night in a row. I am sitting at the same table at the same inn, drinking my sorrows over the loss of my dear friend Cahur. But we're focusing on the barmaid. My daydream is interrupted when my spymaster, Earl Donica, slams his tankard down on the table. I have seen you gawking at Ailish all night, he whispers, with a sly smile. I do not blame you, she is a gallant woman. So he's trying to set us up on another date. I don't know if he heard about Zimina. So we have an intrigue challenge. Donica will become our friend, and we will get 50 intrigue lifestyle experience. We could do it ourselves and try and get 300, or we could lose the stress. Do you know what? Let's try it ourselves. Seems to have succeeded, and we seem to have gotten a chunk of lifestyle experience, which is the most important thing. I have seen Ailish turn down more advances than I can count. A lesser man would be intimidated. But I have happily taken the opportunity to study their mistakes. I am ready. Our conversation flows smoothly. I doubt it, considering how drunk this man is. I did not expect to have so much in common with a barmaid. I doubt that. If she can talk drinks, then these two have a lot in common. As I get up to leave, she puts her phone number in my hand. Just for the night. How about every night? So she would become our lover. We've already gained 300 lifestyle experience, or we gain unattainable. Sorry, ladies. Very good diplomacy stats. Let's make this barmaid our lover. And now that we have made a barmaid out of our lover... Oh wait, was it a lover out of our barmaid? We are now in a position to finish off the schemer tree and get the schemer trait. Not gonna lie, I forget what it gives us. So we've been doing this to hopefully get better at kidnapping children. I don't think it's going to work. We're up to 23 for intrigue, not too shabby. We're now in a position where we could consider going down through another intrigue tree. Stewardship is absolutely atrocious by us. Our stewardship is absolutely atrocious. Learning isn't much better. Diplomacy is actually just as bad. We do need to get some money together, and we've already started down some of the avaricious lifestyle. Monthly income at war. So a lot of these aren't going to be tremendously useful to us. Monthly income per stress level. Sell titles decision. And become avaricious. We could of course go for architect, because that's going to help with keeping down holding costs. So we'll get 1 extra. I'm looking at the duty focus. So stewardship will go up by 1. Agent acceptance minus 5. And courtier and guest opinion plus 20. Decisions. I'll go with the duty focus for a while, just to see what it's like. I don't think I've ever... It's generally wealth focus. It's pretty much always wealth focus. We'll go with the duty focus for a while, and we'll see if we can make our way maybe down the architect tree. Tyrconnell's forces have arrived back home. They have struck into Connacht, and I think Connacht is heading out after them. We're going to maintain our siege. They've run rings around them. And they are indeed going to come in and hit us. But, well, I was going to say we shouldn't worry too much. But then again, maybe we should. Our secret has been exposed. My lover has revealed that I am seeing them in secret. With the truth spreading like wildfire, our passion may not have been as hidden as we would like. Well, she's the one who told everyone. So we have gained the trait adulterer. We've lost a level of devotion. We've lost 30 opinion with Ailish because we're having an affair with her. And we've lost opinion with Queen Anya and Moel Muira. Nick Donal. Who are they to judge? Yeah, who are you to judge me? It's the curse of Cahor. Cahor has cursed me from beyond the grave. And the forces of the Dal Naradi have stormed in as well against us, and that's another defeat for them. Lots and lots of pop-ups. At the moment, Dervla has come of age. So she's possessed by the spirit of Let Lober, who she watched fall to his death when he tried to fly. But she might be good with money. She's not. I had planned to do this anyway, predominantly for the diplomacy traits. But now with her pants on fire, and a stork eating a big dumpling or something, we'd better cement this now. I was planning on doing this after we formed the Kingship of Ireland. We will send the proposal. We'll take a look very quickly at the battles. So we have the 1st of October and we have the 25th of October. So here is the one which claimed the life of... Where has he gone to, the poor man? Cahor of Meath. Look at all these knights. And here is our great knight, Gulliam, having a great old time in the Kingdom of Ireland. Taig Mac Diarmada kills Rory at some stage. We've actually just ransomed out his father, so we took his father hostage, took him prisoner, and we're going to get 10 quid for him. So that is that one. We'll see which battle it actually was that he died in. Here was the Tyrconnell when they came back against us. And then we have... So here's actually Tyrconnell. That must have been the Dal Naradi. So this is when Rory is killed. And this is... So Rory is killed and his father is taken prisoner in the same battle. And then we have a number of other prisoners. So it should be just a matter now of allowing Brian to do his thing. We've put him in charge with the siege engines. And we'll see if he can get that. There you go. And love prevails. Oh, petty queen Eilish, my little firebrand. To think that I can embrace you openly now with the blessing of both St. Breed and the people around us. I am the happiest man alive. From barmaid to primary wife. She's going to be made primary wife. Can we actually do that right now? From barmaid to primary spouse in the space of a battle. There you go. That's some career rise. So we have one woman going from barmaid to primary spouse of the, effectively, the High King of Ireland. We have another woman whose career, unfortunately, is on the way down from countess to nobody. We will enforce our demands on the earldom of the Dal Naradi. I'm not too sure where she's going to actually end up going to. Or we can't keep the window open. We will enforce our demands. To the cold-hearted petty King Murchad, may wisdom ever elude you. Sorry. When the kingdom is formed shortly, we will be in need of good, strong knights. So here is Lachlan Burke, a courtier of Breffni in Connacht. Here is our daughter, Dervla, who is a bit possessed. Gluttonous, compassionate, and just. Doesn't have the best of traits, and we're not exactly in a position where we need alliances at the moment, so I'm going to arrange a matrilineal marriage. Burke is 31, but hopefully we can get that giant trait into the family, so I'm going to send that proposal. And if we look back at affairs in Ireland, or even in Scotland, here is Gillicreast. And his daughter, of course, we have betrothed our son to his daughter. I think this region is falling apart so much. Donald is going to be our kind of push into that region at the moment. So what I might see about doing, we did actually organize this through a hook as well. What I might think about doing is we're going to break that betrothal. It's going to cost us 75 prestige, which is a bit much, but we're in that kind of position at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to, basically feeling quite apologetic. So where's our son gone to? There is Arthur. And they won't accept this time round Countess Caoileach's own marriage. Well, because she isn't planning the marriage. They will accept. So I think if we just get get our prestige up a bit. So she will accept for the eldest son, who is now 17. Candidate is the heir, so maybe that's why. So there is Arthur. What's the problem here? I think it's just that that Caoilach has that, or not Caoilach, but the eldest son has that extra bit of a prestige bonus from being the next in line. She is a bit intimidated by us. I think we'll see if we can get an acceptance here. This is what I would like to do, is to get an acceptance here. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we've started a scheme to kidnap Ben Ulla, who previously ruled in the lands of the Dal Fiatach, and if we can actually get her to our court, I might restore her. And then, of course, we have in Tír Owen. We're still trying to fabricate a hook on Scahach, so we could try to either marry Ben Ulla to our eldest son, or we could try to marry Scahach. These are the things that you think about when you're drunk and on the verge of becoming the High King of Ireland. It's not going to happen today, though, because we are short a bit of money. Our forces are going to need to repair. We're going to need to get those force numbers back up, and of course we have about another 300 and something gold that we need to get into our coffers to be in a position to form the High Kingship, hopefully. That sway scheme against the Pope will deliver something, and we will get some money so that we can do that on the next episode. Thank you very much for joining me on this one. It was action-packed. And Scotland is in flames again. Some things never change. Thank you for joining me on this one, and I hope to see you on the next one.